and welcome back to my channel. We finally found that voter fraud that Republicans were screaming about, all those extra ballots printed out and snuck into Philly. We found them! Except that it was Republicans from Virginia with firearms in a gray Hummer coming up to do something. I don't know what you need 2 firearms, 1 semi-automatic, and a bunch of fake ballots. What are you planning on doing with all that? Trump supporter? Oh, and voter intimidation? That was happening too. And who was doing that? Oh yeah, it was Republicans. It was Trump supporting Republicans. And then what was it? Voter fraud. Come on, voter fraud. What was the other bit of voter fraud? What was it? Oh yeah, it was your own postmaster appointed by your man-chief baby who refused to follow a federal order and look for ballots in postal stations so that every vote would count, because Trump knew, and we've proved, that mail-in ballots heavily favored Biden. So, are we going to talk about that, or are we just going to pretend like that wasn't a whole bunch of voter fraud spread out amongst Republicans? Like a ton. And you still got Republicans threatening to have a hissy fit and overturn a fair and legal election by using state legislators or the court. Which, P.S., go watch my video, Wow Election Craziness or whatever, because I actually discussed where they do not have a court case and how it was not fake ballots. There were not 138 fake ballots. There was a typo. A typo by a human being. They are not bringing ballots into Philly. They are not bringing ballots into Michigan. They're not fake ballots. There are no ballots with watermarks. There are 0 ballots with watermarks. They don't exist. You made this stuff up in your head, and they don't exist. While your side is committing voter fraud left and freaking right. Voter suppression, voter fraud. I mean, you name it, they're trying to do it. A person from Virginia, 2 people, got in their Hummer and decided it would be a good idea. They're from my area. Like, we don't live in the same exact area, but we live close enough I can give you a time frame. To drive to Philly would have been 6 hours. They drove 6 hours with fake ballots and weapons. You cannot tell me that they were not up to nefarious things. You just can't. 6 hours, people. 6 hours. That shows intent to voter fraud. To commit voter fraud. There's going to be a transition of power. There just is. Donald Trump and his little sycophants can get on board and help the country move forward, or they can be forced out of the way. I don't really care which. I genuinely don't. But you need to understand that there is no watermarks. There is no voter fraud. And every ounce of voter fraud that has been found has been done by you guys. Oh, their dead people aren't voting too. There have been a couple of dead people that have voted. But they voted before they died. And then it was discovered that they had died. And they threw out their ballots. So no to the people from the 1850s voting. That's not how this works. You need a birth certificate, a social security number, an ID to even register to vote. Even in the state of Virginia, which has some pretty lax voting laws, the first time you vote, you better bring your freaking ID. So, yeah, that's a thing. That's an actual thing. My point is, Biden won fair and square. It sucks. We're not happy. Okay, we're ecstatic. Don't get me wrong, I've been smiling all day. I'm not gonna lie about that. We're ecstatic that we got Cinnamon Hitler out. But he was not our choice either, guys. He wasn't. But we still picked the good of the nation over our personal choice. Y'all picked what y'all assumed was the economy over human rights. And y'all want to cry voter fraud. Okay. It didn't happen. Let it go. Alright, guys. I will see y'all later.